Right behind me, I've got the 2026 Ram 1500 Rebel. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada, so reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to Milton Chrysler for allowing me to review this beautiful Rebel. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the Ram 1500s, the safety features that do come with the Rebel model here, the engine specs, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing. Now, in terms of the different models that you can get when it comes to the Ram 1500s, depending on the model that you do pick, you can also pick from the different bed sizes. Also, here are all of the different models that are available, so there's definitely something for everyone. And as for the safety features that you do get with the Rebel model, here is a list. So these are all of the safety features that do come with this truck. And this does have the 3-liter Hurricane twin turbo engine, producing 420 horsepower and 469 pound-foot of torque. Now, in terms of towing, with the Rebel, you can tow about 11,140 pounds, and you have about 1,600 pounds of payload. In terms of the fuel economy, you're looking at about 13.2 liters in the city and about 9.9 liters on the highway. I'm also going to throw up the window sticker for this Rebel because it has a bunch of options that are added to this. So as I walk around the truck here, you are going to notice everything. Well, let's start off in the front of this nice looking Rebel. I really like how the Rebels look. They look very mean and aggressive. Now, on the bumper, well, the bumper itself, you do have a metal bumper. You've got the front recovery hooks along with the front safety sensors. There's also the sensor in the center there, and in the corners you do have the LED fog lights. If you look way down below, you do have your skid plate, and then really you just get into your grill area. Now you kind of have like this mini opening area at the bottom, and I really like the designing of the grill. Kind of looks like a mustache. And then here is the grill. It's all blacked out. You got the nice openings here. Even the Ram letters are pretty big and blacked out. In the center, you do have the front-facing camera. And then you get into these very cool-looking LED front lights. These are super nice, they're super thin, and that's what makes these Ram trucks really stand out. Now, on the hood here, you do have the Sport Performance hood. So here is the venting on both of the sides. You've got the styling here, and it also says 1500 Hurricane. Coming around to the side of the Rebel, you've got the typical 1500 look. Now, this has something that is one of my favorite things to have on a vehicle, and up top here you do have the dual pane panoramic sunroof. And then around your windows, all the trim is blacked out. Even your door handles do come gloss black, and then side mirrors are also gloss black. Then you got the typical black plastic, the turn signals, and then if you look underneath here, you do have side mirror camera. So this has camera angles all around, and I'm going to show you that on the touchscreen. Now, along the sides of the front doors, you do have the Ram letters again, and then you get into these cool looking wheels. Look at how nice these look. I really like the blacked out look. You kind of have like this matte finish going on, and these are your 18-inch wheels. These are paired with the 33-inch tires, and if I do take a step back, you can see with the Rebel, these wheels definitely look good. The Rebel also gets a 1-inch raised ride height, a lifted suspension, and Bilstein performance tuned shock absorbers. All right, coming around to the rear, the nice looks definitely continue, and just like the front, the rear bumper is also metal. Now back here, you've got quite a few things. First off, you've got more rear safety sensors. You got your hitch there in the center, and way down there you do have a spare tire. Up by the license plate area, you do have all of your towing outlets and the dual exhaust. Now, something cool about this, if you look at the tips, you kind of have like this black chrome touch on this, and you do have your side step. So to pop this out, it's very, very easy. You just put your foot here and it just pops out. Now on the tailgate here, you do have the Rebel badging, more of the Ram letters, and the 4x4 badging. Then up by the tailgate handle area, even this whole thing is blacked out. You've got a rear facing camera obviously, and then underneath you do have your LED light. Speaking of LED light, you've also got these nice looking LED tail lights. Like, look at how nice these look. I really like the designing on this. Let's go ahead and open up the tailgate and see what we have inside in terms of the bed. Now, this is a power opening lift gate, as you just saw right there. So power opening obviously, and then if I just pop it up like that, it's also power closing. See how fast that closed? That was amazing. Now let's go ahead and reopen this, and even opening it, it's pretty fast. And inside here you do have the spray and bed liner, which I always prefer having if you are getting a pickup truck. And back here you will notice the rails, the adjustable tie downs, And then you have your LED bed lighting on both of the sides. And then also back here, you do have a 115 volt outlet. Now over on the rear window here, the center window is power sliding. Let's go inside and take a look at what the Rebel has to offer inside. So it's an all black interior in terms of the door trim, but there are bits and pieces that do stand out. Now down here, you have quite a bit of room, including a water bottle area. You've got this nice looking speaker, which is the Harman Kardon. And I like how they use this aluminum grilling on this. Even around this, you have the black chrome and more space in the middle here, soft touch here, here, and here. Now, something you will notice obviously is the white contrast stitching, but if you look at this soft touch and this, it's completely different. Like this one I think looks very cool in terms of like the designing and the texture. So it's nice that you get kind of like two different types of trim here. And obviously you have more here, black chrome trimming around that, and then this beautiful blacked out trimming. All of this, all the trims, the stitching, you'll notice all throughout the interior. All right, let's check out these seats on this. Now it's all blacked out and you do have the white contrast stitching everywhere. You've got the perforated back and bottom sections here. And the side seats do come heated. And let's go ahead and drop down the center here. Now this is gonna have your cup holders. Now lifting up the rear seats here, you do have this section that pops up just like this. Otherwise it just comes down on the floor. But yeah, you have all of this space that you can definitely utilize, and on the other side, plus all of this opens up. And one thing that I do love about Rams is their in-floor storage bins. Like you can definitely utilize this. You even have like measurements, the ruler, everything. And this does pop out if you do need to wash it. Now I'm gonna jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom. All right, hopping in the back here, you have tons of legroom, and this seat can obviously be adjusted, but still, legroom wise, you are very, very good. Now in terms of the headroom, same thing, super good. I have a hat on, I am 5'11" for reference, and look at the room I have. I'm super comfortable back here. Now behind the driver and the passenger seat, I really like how there's no plastic. It's all soft touch. Plus you do have these storage pockets on both of the seats. Now over on the rear console area, more cup holders here, more of that nice trimming you saw on the doors, black chrome trimming, the venting back here, some space here to put your phone while charging, rear heated seat buttons, USB ports, and then a 115 volt outlet. Now let's head to the front and see if anything is different compared to the rear. Now, the only thing that I can really notice up here is a much bigger area. Plus you do have these two cushions for two water bottle areas. Everything else is identical. You do have an extra speaker, and yeah, then you have just your typical window controls, side mirror controls, and then the driver memory seat controls. Now let's check out the front seats on this. Again, exactly like the rear, but there is one main difference. As you can see right here, you do have the Rebel stitched in on both of the seats, and everything else is identical. The stitching, the perforated bottom and back sections. The front seats do come heated and ventilated, which is good. And then along the sides here are all of your controls for the seat, and down here you do have your handy dandy foot pedals. Here is the hood latch release. Up here you have your electronic parking brake, and then the power adjustments for your foot pedals. And the plug that you saw in the bed, that's how you turn it on or off for the power. And moving up here, you have all of your exterior lighting controls, fog lights, backlights, cluster dimmers, all that good stuff. Even around the venting is more of that black chrome trimming. And then your steering wheel is manual adjustable. Behind the steering wheel, you also have media controls. I just want to show you something really quick on the cluster. When I do start up the truck here, you get this nice Rebel animation, which is pretty neat. Okay, now as you enter inside, your dashboard has this hard, soft material plus the typical plastic. You got the contrast stitching, a speaker in the corner, in the middle, and on the other side. And then you move into this gorgeous looking, fully digital cluster area. This is your 12-inch cluster. I am loving all of the details on this, like even where it says Rebel, and you do have the nice illuminated lights on the side. On here, you can view a ton of information. Now to control all of that, it's through here. And then if I press this middle button, this is what pops up. So all of these little menus pop up, but let's get out of that and just control it through literally the arrows. So if I just keep going down, a bunch of different information displays, and including, you can also see a full map view. How nice is that? And let me show you something cool. If I go to the first, so the analog here, you can view it like this. If I press right, you can also view it as a digital. And as for the steering wheel, you do have the soft touch material, even like this perforated section on the side. The steering wheel does come heated, which is nice. You've also got this like aluminum Ram badge. More black chrome trimming all the way around. And on the left side, you have your cluster controls. Here is another section of that. And then your phone controls. On the other side is all of your cruise control settings. Also your active driving assist, your lane keep, and then your follow distance. And down here, you have your gear limit and drive modes. Now behind the steering wheel, you have your wiper controls, high beams, and indicators. Now over on the center armrest area, you have soft touch material, contrast stitching, and this nice looking Ram badge here. And opening up the first section, you do have some space that you can definitely utilize. And then you have your secondary or your main section. So look at all the deep storage space in this, a ton of room in this. And if you just pop this down, you also have like Easter eggs with all the vehicles. You have space on here, cup holders here, moving this back, a ton more room, and on this, you have all sorts of different measurements. And quickly, before I touch on everything else, I just want to show you on the side, you have this nice granite trimming and then a storage spot on the side, and you'll notice that on the passenger side as well. Down there, you also have an outlet, and then you have 2 sections for your phone. Now, both of these are wireless charging, which is pretty good. And then all of your different USB ports, your HDMI port, because you do have a passenger screen. And to the left here, you have your rotary shifter, all your different modes here, auto start stop, your off-road cruise control, and then the axle lock. And then is this gorgeous 14.5 inch touchscreen. Look at how nice this thing looks. Even on the sides here, you have all of your heating and cooling controls on both the sides. And then up here, you have your hazards, traction control, and then your lane keep. Now on here, you can view a ton of different information on the touchscreen. Now I want to show you something on the bottom here. So these 2 sections for your sensors for the front and rear, you can turn them on or off from here. And then really is the touchscreen itself. So you kind of have like a split screen, the top section, the bottom section, and these are even split into different sections. And then swiping over, you can add different widgets, which is pretty neat how you can like customize it and whatnot. So that's the home page. And then if you go under media here, you are going to have things like your AM, FM, Sirius XM, all that good stuff. And you also have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then under comfort will be all of your heating and cooling controls, or you can use the side physical controls. And on here is where you will find your heated seats, vented seats, and the heated steering wheel. Something cool is, let's say if I turn on the heated seats, now you can do it by zone, both of them. You can do one, the top or the bottom. So yeah, you have that availability to choose from. And then you have your typical phone section once you do have it paired. Under vehicle will be a bunch of different things. Now, I'm under controls right now. So you have your mirror dimmer, passenger screen, vehicle camera. So let's go into that and let's go under the surround camera. So like I was mentioning, this has cameras all around. You got the top bird's eye view. Here is the rear facing camera right now. And if I click the next one, this is kind of like a wider panoramic view of the rear. Here's the same thing, but for the front, and then a narrower view for the front. Here is what the backup camera looks like. And here is the front camera. And if I go under more cams, and if I go all the way down, here are your side mirror cameras. So if I click on either one of them, it's going to show you whichever left or right. So that's what that looks like. And then let's exit out of all of this. And so we saw the controls, the cameras. Let's go under dashboard. You've also got the off-road pages. So once you click into this, you're going to have all of your necessary off-road information in case you are taking this bad boy off-roading. So you got your dynamics, gauges, pitch and roll, and front camera. Now let's head back again and then go under settings. This will be your typical stuff you see on any vehicle. So you can customize all of this to your liking. And then you have your apps section. This has a ton of apps. You've got the favorite section, all these different categories that you can choose from, and this also has Alexa. Lastly, you do have the navigation similar to the cluster area. You can obviously view it here as well. Now, if you look to the left, you have more of that granite trimming I showed you on the side of the console, black chrome trimming again, and then this nice looking blacked out trimming. And on top of here, behind the screen, you have more space, an outlet, and it also says RAM. Here's what the key fob looks like for the Rebel. It's your typical RAM key. Now up top is just your handy dandy rear view mirror. Moving further up, you've got quite a few things. So you got your tailgate button to close it and open it. Interior lights, you've got your SOS, assist, sunroof controls, sunshade control, and then the rear power sliding window. And here is where you put your sunglasses. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and let me show you what you get on this side. So like I was mentioning on the driver's side, here's that pocket of space that you can definitely utilize. And then you have your screen here. Now, I'll show you that in just a second, but you also have a nice Rebel badge and then your typical handy dandy glove compartment space. Now, let's touch on the touchscreen here. So once you do hop inside, you can turn this on. Now, one thing to note, when you're sitting on the driver's side, you can't see this because of how it's made, I guess, the screen protection, the privacy. But to turn it on, there is a button right here, and voila. Now you have your homepage and you have all of these different sections, and swiping over, you also have navigation and then cameras. You can also see the vehicle cameras from here. How cool is that? And then this bell icon is for your notifications. And lastly, you have your controls. So you got your screen off, the brightness, wireless headphones, all that good stuff. And here is the window sticker for this Rebel. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars. Well, that does it for the review on this 2026 Ram 1500 Rebel. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of this?